Hey friends, Kelly here. I'm going to show you how to do that fun swirly look. We're going to use marshmallow, strawberry milkshake, and taffy today. And as always, I have my trusty cuticle scissors. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut a couple little strips of one of the big jellies that I usually don't use because it's about a size too big for my thumb. But later on, I will actually show you how to use jellies that are too big too. So I'm going to cut some angles in here just so that I have a nice taper. But you don't really have to be terribly precise. We're going to smooth out the lines once they get on your nails. So I'm going to peel one of them off here. And I'm going to stick it on my nail. So I usually stick it down sort of at an angle and make sure it's really stuck on the first part of my nail, and then you can bend it over. That lovely Gellies stretch. And then press it down. Going to cut off the excess right there. And we're ready for the second strip. Going to smooth that down. So we're going to take a little bit of strawberry milkshake next. Same deal, cut yourself some strips or some wedges, either one. You'll be able to shape them pretty much how you want. After you do this a couple times, you'll get a feel for it. So same deal here. Ooh. I'm going to put that just right next to the first strip, and notice I didn't really do anything about that cuticle line, and that's because we can fix that before we cure. You can either take a cuticle stick and sort of press in to cut it, or you can just push it into the shape that you want. So I'm going to push it for now. Later in the video you'll see that I'm not happy with it, so I end up actually just cutting it, but either one works. We're going to snuggle those in nice and tight to one another. Cover that edge. And then to fill in another gap, I'm just going to cut one of these little corner pieces here. And it fits beautifully right in that curve. Stick half of it down, stretch the other half, and fold down. And I'm actually going to leave that one. I'm not going to cut the excess just yet until I cure, just because I want it to fully cover the side for me. All right, and last but not least, let's get that little sliver over there on the left. That one's a little trickier because it's small. There we go, same deal. I'm going to make sure it's really nice and pressed down. I'm going to cut the excess off of the back part, but not the front just yet. And just take the side of my nail, squish it in, smooth all those little edges out so you can't really tell where one stops and the other one starts. And cut the excess at an angle. All right, so let's do some squishing. So just going to squish in the sides, smooth everything out. We're going to put a top coat on this. You really can't do a design like this without a top coat, so I'm not worried about messing up the finish when I press them down. Cut off that excess. Smooth it out. It's still a little funky back there at the cuticle, so this is the part where I use the side of the stick to kind of cut it off a little bit. Sped up the video so you won't be bored watching all the pushing. There we go. That's where I cut that little edge right there. All right. Once I'm happy with it, I'm going to cure that in place. And then file any rough edges gently. And And just because I am extra like guac, I want to put a little bit of fairy glaze over the pink part and the white part. And I'm going to flash cure that in place so that it doesn't spread when I put the clear glaze over it. All right, let's clear glaze that baby. Cure and done. And that's how you do a jelly. What are we going to call this? A Gellies mishmash? Sounds good. So if you don't know about us, you can get Gellies at pressonshop.com.